So this is unfortunate. My car, my lovely car, it's we've had a bit of an accident, and yeah, I know I normally do bike stuff, but I started in cars, started messing with cars, and I reckon I can fix it. It keeps unlocking itself. So yeah, accidents happen. I have ended up going into the back of someone and I need to repair it. The insurance has classed this car as a category N write-off, which basically means it's just they've considered it uneconomical to repair. Now I don't think it is. They place their own value on the car, and if it is something like half that value or something stupid like that, then they won't repair it. From what I can see of the car from the outside, you've got the bumper that is obviously a bit pushed in. The grill has been pushed in and out, and it looks like the panel here has been levered down. And I've had a quick look inside and it doesn't look that bad either. Now the insurance have already done their thing. They've looked at it, or looked vaguely at it, and deemed it unrepairable, as I said. Well, cost effective for them, because obviously they're all about making profit and not doing a, what I think could be quite simple repair. After taking off all the panels that they've chucked in the engine bay, because there should be a, whoops, lost my light. There should be a panel going across here to just make it look tidier. So they've taken that off, seen this crack here, and it doesn't look like they've had anything else off, because the screws in the bumper don't look like they've been removed. So I'm going to whip that off today, see what it's all about. If this panel behind, which has been split, is connected to the bumper, then great. Worst comes to worst, might need a new bumper if I can't pop out the damage and get it resprayed. If this is separate, then obviously I'm going to find a replacement for that, because that is damaged. And well, we're going to be looking at this panel that runs across the back, because as it turns out, it's actually bolted on either end. Can I see it? Isn't there? Yeah, I can just about see it. Down here there's a bolt there, and at the other end there's one similar, so that panel can actually be bolted on and off. It's got all the radiator hoses, the aircon hoses, the radiator itself, the bonnet catch here connected to it, so it'll be a bit of a pain to replace, but it shouldn't be too hard. We're going to see what the damage is like underneath though, but fingers crossed. It's just that this panel here has been rotated down, and then the bumper doesn't want to pop back into shape because of that. So hopefully it should be just a case of going around the bumper and popping out little clips like this to release stuff, and undoing bolts like that, which I guess is going to be 10mm. I'm just going to go around and just take all the bolts out, so I'll join you in a second. So one thing I have noticed here around the headlight, once I took the bumper mount out here, the headlight is loosey-goosey. It's snapped here at the mounting point, and it's cracked at this mounting point, so obviously the light has been pushed back in as well during the collision, yeah, and damaged that. So that can be repaired. I just have to like plastic weld it and strengthen it. Same with that one, or I could get a new unit. Okay, so with the bumper off, eventually, There's about 4 bolts underneath, 4 bolts on top, maybe 5 bolts underneath, a couple in the arch liner. You can see what's going on under here. These 1, 2, 3 brackets should be horizontal. They're not, especially that one there. There we go, it's better to see. So these should all be horizontal, and they're not. So yeah, it looks like the impact has actually been higher up than I thought. Because this bumper bar down below here doesn't look to be damaged. That looks straight as you like. It looks like somehow the impact has been up high and it's bent all this crap up here. So if you cast your eye down here, you should see 1, 2 bolts, 3, 4 bolts, and it looks like everything is just bolted on and off on the front end here. Even this bumper bar at the front is bolted on, so it looks like I could just buy a new one and bolt a new one on. So it's going to be a pain, but I think it's doable. I'll have to price up some parts, see what's what, and then we can go from there. It also looks like the aircon radiator might be a little bit bent, as you can see. That looks like it might have taken a little knock higher up there and just pushed it in. Whether that's still functioning, we'll see. But it's filled with the gas rather than the fluid for the, like this is the radiator behind, this is the aircon. So it's a big aircon radiator. Yeah, this should just have gases going through it, and that one should have liquid. So as long as they're not fractured, they should be good still. Should be. But that's took the majority of the knock, and that's probably why it's bent it round and lifted the bonnet up. Yeah. Okay, so I'm actually looking at getting this done now. I've popped out the dent from the bumper during the week. It hasn't come back fully. In fact, I might just replace the bumper. Oh no, that's meant to be there. So, popped it out here using the heat gun on the back. There's still a little crease just there and a little depression there, but most of it came back. Whether a body shop who's going to respray this can repair that, I don't know, I'll have to find out. It's also cracked just in this corner, but that could be patched up with fiberglass. The grille popped back into place alright. There is a little, where is it? There's a little notch there as well, just on the underside. So, you know, I might end up actually replacing the bumper. Oh no, there's one there as well. There's a bump there, so yeah, it might actually be best if I replace the bumper. So I'm just going to try and get everything aligned today. I've got the new top panel, so that's going to go on. Hopefully, well, it's a used one obviously. Hopefully it's straight, and hopefully everything just bolts on and bolts off. I'll soon find out. But yeah, and I got new lights as well, so it's £30 for that top panel and £70 for the light. So if those two things work and it becomes aligned, because I still can't fully close this bonnet because everything is, in my opinion, bent down. If it does work, great. Then if it doesn't, I don't know, we'll have to do some more investigation. just hoping my little catch here hasn't been bent. But that's one panel changed, so I guess we see if it lines up now. Everything out, everything out. Put it in there. Told you that panel was bent. So it sits flush at each side now. Perfect. There, sits flush. There, sits flush. So hopefully I can pop the bonnet. Lift it. Yep. So the catch needs to be adjusted. Okay, so the catch needs to be adjusted. So I just want to adjust. I want to try and lift it up a little bit. So which one am I going? Okay, let's try again. Okay. It's not too bad, you know, it's not too bad. It's not perfect, but it's not too bad. Okay, everything seems to be there that is meant to be there. So next job is going to be to plug everything in here and check everything works. Most of the stuff is colour coded, can only go on one way. Okay, headlight is in. Let me just check the bonnet again. See, this is a thing as well, the headlight might have been pushed back a bit. Yeah, good point. If the headlight got impacted here, and then broke 1, 2, 3. That panel, the panel that I replaced was obviously bent, but potentially one of the mounting points here is also been pushed back, which will be a bit of a bigger job, but we'll only find out that once we get the bumper on properly. Because it doesn't seem to be any damage. Any other, so I guess it's bumper time. So I know it's not completely done yet, but those two parts have got the car back and running again. The bonnet shuts, the bonnet aligns, the light is stable. It's just the cosmetic work on the bumper now to repair, but seeing it's such a large surface and previous experience of rattle cans, it's best to get it done professionally. So I'll find some quotes, get that done. But all in all today, that has been maybe a couple of hours work, if that, to do those two parts. £30 for the top rail, £70 for the headlight, both used, so £100 all in. And yeah, I know the insurance is going to want to use new parts, and they're going to incur labour costs as well, which is why stuff adds up. But honestly, this car was not a write-off, nowhere near a write-off. They could have easily fixed it. It's just they're all about profits, so it's easy for them to tell you the car is scrap if it's a category N, and then to make money off it that way. But there we go, that's my experience anyway. So this was originally, I don't know, a £1,400 car. To replace it would be £2,000 to £3,000 because it's the SR model. They offered me £1,450 minus the £150 excess, and buying the car back cost me 25%. So I've had the car back. I've had a check for, I don't know, £960 because they didn't want to fix it. And I've spent £100 on it so far, so bargain. I was surprised that the slam panel was actually bolted on. I was thinking I was going to have to drill out a load of spot welds and weld it all back together, so fortunate like that. But this is something different. I know it's normally bikes on this channel. I know sometimes cars aren't welcome, but I was asked if I would do a little video of how it's gone together, my experience, and here it is. I mean, I started on cars before I went to bikes really, so something different. I am going to have to speak to the insurance about the damage that has been caused to the splitter on the front and the missing fasteners that are throughout the car, because that's not on, that they just take stuff apart and just chuck it away, and that they damaged it loading it and unloading it onto the transporter. So I'm gonna have to have a word about that. But yeah, insurance, who'd have it, eh? Apparently I've only got 27 seconds left of this now, so yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next video. I don't know why I've only got 27 seconds. 19, 18, 17, hope you enjoyed it. 16, 15, 14, maybe I'll do more. Ciao.